Hello, lovely internet.
Hello, lovely internet.
You guys like that? My little test. I have to send out my link. Okay, move some stuff out of the way. Get my water ready. Do I have enough water? Maybe a little bit of water. I think that's about like 8 ounces of water left. I need more water. Maybe if there's a cutscene long enough, I'll go grab a bottle. Oh wait. I have another one. Hello! It just turned 6 o'clock, so we're gonna wait a little bit to see who can join in the chat. Yeah, I'm right next to some, excuse me. We're right next to some important statues here, so I might go talk about that while we wait. Address some lore. Yeah, Larks and I did a small little lore video before we started our first stream. I like to talk more about lore. There's tons of stuff that I've picked up over the years. You know, I've been playing this game for more than a decade and done my research. Sometimes I kind of assume a lot of players like already know a lot of stuff. I just assume that they've been playing as long as I have. I mean, sometimes that's true. Sometimes a lot of people have been playing even longer than I have. Like when I meet legacy people, they're like the original OGs. Or I guess OG is already original. Does anybody else make that mistake where like it's the original OG? It's kind of like saying ATM machine. I don't know. Sometimes it just feels natural, but it's like you realize you just repeated a word. Well, the original gangsters of Final Fantasy are always legacy players. I always wish that I had the legacy tattoo, but you know, I think about 2010, I wasn't ready to join an MMO in 2010. I was just like, I was still in high school around that time. Let's see. When I started hearing about Final Fantasy XI, I was definitely too young to join in on that fun. I didn't have internet capabilities kind of like what I did today. It's not that I wasn't constantly connected to the internet, but back in those days, it just felt more difficult to be online all of the time, if you know what I mean. Because those days were still dial-up AOL internet services, you know, and one of those things where I'm not really from the era where you couldn't be online and have somebody on the telephone at the same time, though I do kind of remember those days. When I was very young, I'm just gonna fly around here. I'll come back to the statues, I promise. But, oh, I know. Let's just go let's take out Monk for a minute. I'm gonna absorb some XP. Not that it's like terribly a lot. It's like just little eeky amount. Anyways, we're just gonna start flying around the map. But anyways, around Final Fantasy XI, I think I still was I think I was maybe using a different service than AOL dial-up service. That was a very early 2000 thing. And I definitely was part of the group where instead of texting, I would love to aim chat. MSN actually was my go-to chat box back in the day. I think I was on MSN a whole lot more than AOL. And then it just transferred over to social media. You know, that's a simple. I wonder if like social media was the final nail in coffin for things like MSN. I miss MSN though. But I wasn't interested in MMOs for a very long time. And I do think I was just too young to be involving myself in that, or more like even the internet was still too young. And I'd heard about Final Fantasy XIV's release, and I think I probably had the same attitude as I did when Final Fantasy XI was released. I just went, oh, well, I'm not even going to pay attention to that because that's an online game, and I just don't do those. Mostly, I've had bad experiences being female in 2010s era, trying to join online things, especially online games. When I think the youngest I ever tried, oh, and some people are probably gonna get nostalgic over this. I had joined MapleStory, I think maybe back in 2008, and I couldn't get into it because of constant harassment, you know, from underage boys usually. I was also underage at the time, so. But if you had a female avatar and you even gave off a hint of being female online, good luck trying to play a game in peace. And of course, they were all trying to be very nice to you, but what they were doing was being a nuisance. You know, they were not allowing you to play the game. And so I was extremely shy at the time, too, and did not enjoy MapleStory simply because I was like, I don't want to talk to people, I just want to play a game. Anyways, 14... either due to a great cultural shift, which I'll also attribute to the world of online gaming, or just the very nature of Final Fantasy XIV itself. I should say the moderation in this game is amazing. Is it still flawed? Of course it is, but if you are in any other online gaming space, I really challenge anybody to find better moderation than this. Like, not having to deal with derogatory slurs and just general people being mean to each other for no damn reason. Like, I also tried to join Warframe. Let me tell you, that only lasted a week. Warframe is awesome. I like that game. It's pretty good. I absolutely can't stand its online community, and it makes me not want to play. I think a lot of gaming companies need to realize that if they would like to draw in larger player bases, one of the things that they should focus on is moderation. And by that, just like making people not feel so uncomfortable that they don't want to play. So, I'm going to talk about some of these statues that you can come across. I cannot remember if Larks and I talked about these. I know we must have made some sort of, how should I say it? We should have made some sort of comments, but these have a lot to do with a big storyline that you don't necessarily have to do, but most people do it. It's recommended you do it. It's the Warring Triad. And if you played... Is it Final Fantasy VI? 6 is one I don't know very well. Fact-checking myself. Yeah, it's Final Fantasy VI. If you've played Final Fantasy VI, you might know. Because I'm trying to think, I'm like, this definitely comes from the Kefka era. And if you've also played Final Fantasy VI, you know that Kefka is definitely a thing. And Tara Bradford is, like, honestly, one of the best characters. People can fight me on that. But, anyways, I'm not very familiar with 6 because it was one of those games that I may have tried to play in the past, but did not finish for one reason or another. Hello, welcome to the stream. We're talking about the Warring Triad as I just kind of get situated here. Talk about Final Fantasy VI because of the Warring Triad. But yeah, for people unfamiliar with the game, this is Zervin, Sophia, and Sephiroth. I like to block Sephiroth from my brain. So I'll talk a little bit about my experiences with Warring Triad. We might do that on this stream if there's, enough interest. But, I mean, Sophia honestly is my favorite fight. But this EX fight actually was really nicely done, even though back in the day it really gave us headaches. But, so these days I do not do EX fights. Not very often, and if I do, it has to be special occasion. And my dislike of doing EX fights came from this guy right here. It was around 2015, 2016, somewhere around there, when this fight was very irrelevant and the EX was such a terrible and toxic experience. I was just over here praising 14 earlier for its wonderful moderation compared to other online games, and here I am going to reveal the toxicity that was Heavensward 2015, and I never even finished Zervin. I think Stormblood had to come out before I could go back and do the fight again. Hated this one. Sephiroth I could forgive for being an awful experience. Zervin I cannot. That was actually not just like having crappy players. Zervin was just a poorly made fight in my opinion. Even to this day when I go into the EX fight for any sort of reason, I just think this is the poorest design fight I've ever seen in the game. Though, I guess a lot of people could contest Alexander's Savage. I mean, I could at least think of a couple of normal Alexanders that are very poorly designed. And, this was also, yeah, you're like, it did get rough in that era. It was probably the roughest era Final Fantasy XIV had ever faced. Heavensward is still like my favorite game. The expansion is great, the story is great. However, when it comes to battle mechanics, this is probably one of the poorest executed games out there. I don't even know if A Realm Reborn even trumps like whatever happened here. I think they made a few mistakes. One, they were trying to really be a competitor against WoW. And they still to this day are a competitor against WoW, but honestly, usually what I get from the development team is that they just want to be another MMO for people to enjoy. And they don't particularly care. They want people to play WoW, they want people to play this game too. Like, it's fine. But, you know, it is still a business at the end of the day, so they got competition. So, yeah, and it was rough living through that era, but honestly, we all got through it, and, boy, did we get rewarded for our patience. But as far as the expansion of Heavensward, and then patch updates that included more of, like, you know, what's going on with the story, all of that is fine. I think raiding was hit absolutely the worst in Heavensward. It was a very bad raiding scene. And we won't even talk about Diadem here, because I think we already talked about it on the other show. I have no idea who I'm about to enter the Electrochemical Research Facility with. Is it going to be a bunch of these nodes? Am I going to be the sole, like, humanoid in a sea full of nodes? I'm going to click on this. This is completely blind playthrough right now. Oh my god, it's them again! They came back, guys! Oh, I gotta change. I was a monk, right? Yeah. It looks too much like my samurai. Okay, so it's these guys again, starting their lives out as eager marauder conjure thaumaturgs. Look at them. They got a glow up here. I wish one day this would be so cool of them, but I don't know how they would be able to do this. I wish one day they would allow us to customize the Scion Marauder, Scion Conjurer, or Scion Thaumaturge, kind of like how we do our retainers. Well, Hachi, if you're going to be online, I think the Thornton boss fight, that's not soloable. I don't think so. I don't think any of the primal fights are, unlike the Realm Reborn. Okay, so you rung up your eager friends, and said, can you guys come to Ozzy's Law? And the first thing out of their mouths is, what the fuck is Ozzy's Law? And then you have to give them, like, the worst GPS coordinates you've ever given them. Yeah, I would love to customize these so that I could, like, do, like, there's Larks, there's Hachi, and then there's Clementine, and then eager spouse. If only I could, Hachi, eager spouse, like, yeah, I would love for them to be able to do that, but I don't know, that's such a big ask to say, like, hey, could you, I guess we could do it with the squadrons. The squadrons have glamourable, but, like, the squadrons are also, like, they're always going to be a hero. There's always going to be a Lalafell. You know, that you can't change their race. You can just change their glamour. But, I mean, even to just be able to change their glamour would be awesome. Actually, you know, if you want to talk about the squadrons, I got some tea about why the squadrons were left to die. This place just keeps getting weirder. Downright uncanny here. So one day, oh, there's tea. There's tea about, and there is a reason why squadrons have remained untouched for a very long time. So there was, what was it? Unger Max. Okay, this is why it's so hilarious. Unger Max destroyed squadrons. So you'll probably know this, Hachi, but for the audience, Unger Max is a LB move used by Barret in Final Fantasy VII, and it's got a really funny name. You know, it's supposed to be Anger Max, like maximum anger, but it's called Unger Max. And that was a squadron ability you could use going into squadron dungeons. However, players found an exploit with Unger Max where they could take it outside of the dungeon and bring it into other places. And that was an extremely bad thing, or like it unbalanced the game for a while. So they eventually did fix it, but it actually did take a while. Well, I know exactly why I never heard of it. So usually, when exploits happen in this game, they're usually kept very hush-hush, because the moment Square gets a whiff of it, they're gonna come in and immediately patch it out. So the Unger Max exploit was just like too good, so it had to be like if you were in the know, you're in the know. But like anything, it eventually broke containment. Like eventually a lot of players were discovering, because all it took was somebody in an FC going, hey guys, check out this trick, and then the whole FC knows it, and then, you know, at least a handful of more people know after that. And so, yeah, it became very well known after a while, but I wasn't aware of it, but that's also because I wasn't looking for it, I was just playing the game. So, Unger Max broke the squadron system in the end, because after that fiasco, they never really touched it ever again, simply because now I think they're very afraid of the code that's in there breaking the game. So yeah, there you go. I mean, it's not exactly the downfall of Squadron, but I love to say that Unger Max destroys Squadrons. That's what it was. It was Unger Max's fault. And it's so hilarious because it's like a move named after Barret's LB from Final Fantasy VII. Who would have guessed that's the thing that broke Squadrons? Alright, we got regular Van Hydras here. Savages. I love his one line is just savages. In the name of the Emperor! Oh, and then he has that. There is nowhere to run. I think there's still hope for Squadrons, but it's been years. I mean, a lot of years, and honestly, I didn't know about Unger Max either. I was like, I don't even think... But it's like, I remember utilizing them for absolute bullshit. Like, I did not like the commands very well, you know, on controllers and console, you know, play. It kind of was a little bit too clunky of a system to kind of like order your people around. The trust system and duty support are so much better because, oops, that's not what I wanted. I'm used to my zip zoom being on that button, not faint.
Can you withstand this? In the name of the Emperor! In the name of the Emperor!
Okay, we get it.
In the name of the Emperor!
Okay, we get it. I don't know. Also, I kind of want to look at these guys' fit. This is like a very rare... We don't usually see this guy's face. He's usually like covered by a helmet or anything. So they're wearing... That's like the first dungeon's gear. Or no, this is the Orthodox gear, never mind. I was thinking of a different tall hat. No, that's gotta be the 55 dungeon, isn't it? Yeah. But yeah, I would definitely look up the Ungermax situation. That is like... When I first read that, first of all, like, Ungermax is such a funny word that you're just sitting there like, I cannot believe this is the thing that ruined it all. But, this place is always trippy. Not used to ether chemical, as much as the other one, which I don't even want to talk about. We're going to have to do it, but... I forgot, it's in the same complex, but... That dungeon I did way too many times, and I hate it. But anyways, so squadrons walked so duty support and trust could run. I mean, I still think this is a bit clunky. Mostly doing polls is kind of a nightmare. Even like this is considered like a normal poll. Like, we're not trying to double pull here, though this is a special situation. The enemies are more like coming to us rather than the other way around. But like, when it comes to double polling with the duty or trust system, and again, for people at home that don't know, double polling is when you take one group of enemies that are obviously tethered together, and then you combine them further on down the dungeon with more mooks to beat up. And this is typically the fashion is done. It's usually a wall-to-wall pull, meaning you keep going until you can't. With the exception of certain Realm Reborn dungeons, because Realm Reborn hadn't figured it out, but there are way too many enemies you should pull. And mostly I find those pulls to be even more complicated because they have you running for half a mile before you stop. And guess what your healer can't do if they have to keep running? They can't heal you because at those levels, at level 50, they don't have a lot of moves where you can just hit it and keep moving. They're gonna have to stop and cast at you. Yeah, what I'm usually talking about is the DPS. But there have been times in Realm Reborn where I'm like, the Conjurer's just letting me fucking die. I've been a tank and still died on trying to double pull simply because the Conjurer just won't fucking do anything. Don't even know what it is exactly. Sometimes I think the Conjurer gets stuck on something and then like can't see you through a wall. But I would say definitely by the time of Shadowbringers, which is where they've always implemented trust from the very beginning, that one's better. If you do it carefully, there's a lot of places in Trust where you can double pull. You probably even triple pull, but watch out. It's mostly because there is a lag in the NPCs behind you. When they grab a hold of enemies, they tend to sit their asses down and they refuse to move until you aggro something else. But like, let's say they're over here and you're in halfway in East Jesus, and they only start recognizing that you aggroed something, they probably won't make it along, like, but... Yeah, like, no, it's perfectly, you know, you're able to do it. Oh yeah, the most random fight in here. Oh, what a strange looking, I'm going to go with thing. Eager Thaumaturge is, you know... Yeah, try Brayflox's long stop. The first two pulls. The first two pulls of the entire dungeon. Literally, you can do this within 5 seconds of duty support of Brayflox's long stop. Try to do that as a DPS. The Conjurer just, I swear, refuses to fucking heal you. I think the Conjurer gets mad at you or some shit. But, I didn't turn away. Now I'm made of stone. But, I've had Trust experiences where it's like, sometimes the pull goes out without a hitch. Like, it is absolutely fine. And then there's just sometimes where the Trust support just goes wonky for reasons, and I can't determine why, other than a certain amalgamation of NPC placement, or I just tripped over something and all of a sudden the Trust just goes down the damn toilet and I just have to start over, and I'm like, okay. I mean, for the most part, I think you can go into any duty support or Trust, and if you do it completely normally, it should be a walk in the park. Like, it should be to the point where you could almost set down your controller and go to the bathroom and let the NPCs handle it. You know? It's just trying to do it quickly. Everybody wants to do Trust a lot quicker, and it's like, dude, it's a reasonable amount of time. If you really want to zip zoom through dungeons, then you do it with players. You know, because players will wall-to-wall pull. And if everything goes off without a hitch, that should also just be a, you know, walk in, walk out kind of situation. But, absolutely love the NPCs for, you know, again, when you just need to grab some gear, you know, and you don't want to fight other players for the loot, or, you know, you're just in the mood to be in a story mode, because that's essentially what I consider. This is just story mode. Or, you know, my favorite way, I took all of my alt classes in, the ones that I was sure that I was crap at, like Gunbreaker. God, I think I leveled Gunbreaker solely through Trust since the day it came out. I love Gunbreaker, I sometimes feel really nervous with it. I don't want to go in with other people. So, you know, it's a great way to level alt classes if you're not very confident with your ability with it. The Scions are not going to complain if you wipe the group because you can't figure out your class. They're just gonna continue on their way. But I definitely, I mean, I'm showcasing Heavensward's capability right now, but I have now gone through A Realm Reborn with duty support, I think twice over now. Maybe 3 times. Some of my alts, like, they were leveled through A Realm Reborn before the duty support was in, so it was like, I did those completely with players. And I love the versatility. It's like, if you do want to go play with players, it's a perfectly fine experience. It's in fact what most of us are used to. But if you want to use duty support, it's perfectly fine working system. I should say, like, it works. It's just a little it could use a bit more work, especially in Realm Reborn. But you know, I feel like Yoshi P's team could go back and try to rework a lot of Realm Reborn, and they'd be there like all year. So we don't want to like bog them down too hard with, you know, working on stuff that just needs to be moved on from. But I was still thinking I had to do Labyrinth of the Ancients earlier in a roulette I was doing, and I was like, man, this is the last remnant of A Realm Reborn, I guess, other than Binding Coil, but we'll talk about that later. I just want Labyrinth of the Ancients to be addressed, because it's been a decade. It's been a decade now, and it's Labyrinth is honestly severely dating the game as well because of the mechanics in it. We're almost at the end now. The Archbishop must be close. You promise? So, I'm gonna go over this part because I think by the time Larks and I got to this was when our stream was not streaming very well. So let's focus a bit on this story. We're gonna get past the duty and trust support. Yorva's like, I had a very long conversation. She's just talking at the Marauder, and he's like, okay,
The champion of
Heidelin. Okay, so these two chuckle fucks. Is this too quiet? I think it's too quiet. I can't change anything.
And 'tis well that you do. For it is from the vortex of ceaseless conflict that Lord Zodiac shall be reborn.
Through the joining, the world shall become whole again.
So here's La Habrea.
Be as once it was, as it should ever have remained.
With a new voice actor. And then Igiorum is beside him there.
For the glory of Lord Zodiac.
Igiorum's not allowed to do things. She's not allowed to do things without a babysitter. So La Habrea is her babysitter. Let me check my... Yeah, my master volume is really down. I was like, even I was having a hard time with that one. But they were really just saying nonsense. They're just like, aha, we're evil. Do you remember? We're evil. Also, why are they hiding out in the place of, like, goopy, fleshy bits? I forgot, why is there goopy, fleshy bits here? Should I even try to single target here? Let's see, that's gonna go... Oh, it's a... I thought these were gonna be line AoEs.
Darkness shall consume light.
Do you promise? It's just, that's gonna be our quote of this entire stream, is like, do you promise? Okay, they're gonna explode like a certain somebody's planets. Certain somebody that I cannot mention.
Mortal scum!
Okay. Like, go ahead. Oh shit. I think these mechanics have changed for duty support. And I really can't remember if duty support had been implemented by the time we had last done this. But I know around here it was starting to get pretty choppy and hard to read. Okay, so... Dude, I'm gonna follow these chuckle fucks. Okay. Oh yeah, because then that's gonna cover up the donut holes in there. Okay, I see. I remember the mechanics being pretty similar to this, but I think it has been adjusted.
Chaos shall reign forevermore.
I'm not quite sure if La Brea's voice actor even stays the same
Shall burn no more.
after this. That dang La Brea keeps showing up to ruin my day. He just won't fucking die. Luckily, Urianger gave us the MacGuffin. Okay, they share XP, or not XP, they share XP, they share HP. I was like, they're gonna die.
Such strength, it defies all reason.
Yeah, I don't... This is just another one of La Brea's voice actors.
No, I will not be bested by the likes of them. La Brea, it is time.
Just like we practiced in dance recital. He's like...
Very well. Let us show these mortals the true power of the Echo. The power to break down the barriers of existence.
I don't think he actually knows what the Echo really is. I mean, we don't know what the Echo really is, to be honest.
I am become you.
And we are become one.
You know, I liked with their little claws that they just like... just have 3. I'm currently on Excalibur right now. I've been server hopping a bit. But yeah, I'm on Excalibur server. It's good of you to ask because I don't stay on Leviathan because I'll get bombarded with FC invites. Yeah, this is a sick, nasty design, like... They did a Kamehameha fusion and kind of became like, well, it's called Ascian Prime. I wonder who came up with that. I mean, like, in-game. I like to see the like, Warrior of Light. What did you face up against? The Warrior of Light, like, what do you call this? Do I just call it Laha Aurum? Iggy Brea? Iggy Brea sounds pretty good. But they're like, no, that sounds like a ship name, and I'm not currently writing fanfiction. So the Warrior of Light's like, I faced Ascian Prime. Okay, so like right here, guys? Right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, shit! I see. I like that Lava and Iggy are still trying to say something. It's like, oh, she's already dead. They're like, oh. We're just gonna pretend that didn't happen. Oh, I'm really glad to get this update. Yorva just died, had to restart her fight, and then I get a notification about good news. You can use the Saver Taco emote on for your portrait. Okay. I see. I thought these were. I guess it wouldn't be fair if they went off at the same time. What the heck? Oh, okay. It can be a different pattern? Wow. Yeah, that didn't happen. I guess you weren't on the last stream, but it didn't happen, just like I did not get my ass kicked in the level 60 samurai quest. That was not a thing that happened. I remember when we were all doing, you know, I don't know what that content is called anymore. Story time with Yazael's half-sister, but not really. She's probably her full sister because they don't keep their lore intact. Oh, is today your birthday? I thought it was end of June, correct? Actually, I should have said happy birthday. Okay, I was thinking, I was like, no, it's gotta be end of July. Not end of July, end of June. Yeah, I forgot. I see, yeah. Oh, okay, you were eating dinner at the time I was getting my ass kicked by Musosai. I get it. Well, I want to inform you, happy birthday. Musosai drove my ass into the snow, 1,000. Just like to the power of 1,000. But, I think oh, that was also where I was like, I need gear. Because I was still wearing, like, eye level 100 stuff. Oh, this is kind of cool. Yeah, so if you didn't DPS that down, that would have probably just killed you until you died. It's a good thing we got reconnected to all of the fast food chains with Heidelin, because I think that may have just killed us anyways. Oh no. Too much spicy Thai food. Usually, I would be like, that's not a problem, but I've actually... Okay, at least I only got hit by one thing there. Oh, I should be doing this. I have had too much water with my food before. Curse you! I would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for your damn meddling kids. And this lion lady right here. Did they say anything? They usually just are like, yeah, let's do an emote. They're still around. We can't kill Asians. They can kill us until we die, but we can't kill them until they die.
That she might regain the blessing of light I had foreseen. But she has grown so strong in it as to deny us our power.
Let us withdraw, La Habrea. That power remains to us, at least.
We can at least run like cowards.
Impossible!
Threw it like a Pokeball. Didn't even have to wiggle 3 times. Make thee a blade of light. First take, and they're like, nah, like, she's like, do you think I should do that one again? They're like, nah, let's just run it. I mean, it certainly wasn't a bad take, but it was like,
so,
yeah.
You harness the eye's power. A pity you spent it all.
Do you promise?
What will you do now, hero?
They keep saying, like, oh, we've spent all the power out of the eye, and it's like, yeah, that Igiorum death cry was like, you sure you want to use the first take?
Light can unmake an Asian without relying upon mortal contrivances.
Oh, shut up. This isn't a mortal contrivance. I guess the Orisight was, but the eye isn't. Don't walk in here like you don't covet the eye's power, okay? Like, that's exactly your motivation as well. He's like, I'm going to do it better.
King Thordan and his knights 12 fought and defeated Nidhogg. Though the victory cost them dear, they were rewarded with a great prize, the dread worm's eyes, both of which have since been held in the Holy See's safekeeping. The eye you possess was Nidhogg's left.
Yorva's look.
It served as a source of the Azure Dragoon's might. As for its twin,
Yorva's like, you can't have my eyeball. This is my eyeball. I like it. The eyeball has, like, Lord of the Rings. Like, the one ring. Like, it just corrupts as you hold it. You're like, yeah, my precious. Okay, I really want to talk about how unhinged.
it has lain here, joined to the person of Haldreth, the first Azure Dragoon. For though he learned to harness its power, he was ultimately consumed by it. Even in death, his body decays not. A pitiful end for a fabled hero.
I know I carry an eye in my butt pocket, but...
Long have you and your kind sown the seeds of chaos by teaching mortals the secrets of summoning.
Imagine carrying
But
a
if it is
casket
you that we would meekly serve
all the way
as your
here.
cause, then you are gravely mistaken.
You guys are fucking
You would raise a hand against us.
mentally ill, all of you.
By
Get
taking
therapy.
into my flesh the soul of the legendary King Thordan, I can become a god.
Okay. Ask Yzael how that worked out for her. He's like, I have a cape now. Didn't he even have like a cool magical girl transformation scene? Like Yzael got a cool magical girl transformation scene. Encasing herself in ice, like I like that his entire body just he just said like he can't rot away, but you know, I'm gonna magic him into a sword.
Not cessation, whose being is sustained by a millennium of fervent prayer, and the eye's nigh bottomless reservoir of ether.
I don't know, apparently I just used up all of my eyeball. Like, that eyeball can get used up.
Contempt for man has proven your undoing, Ascian. For my first act as God King, I do hereby sentence you to die.
To death, you say? You get to die by my sword that's entirely made out of a Dragoon man. That one's a little bit hammy. It was a little bit better than Igioram's, but it's like, again, it's like, are you sure you don't want to do another take? Like, the first take?
Gods feed upon ether. It matters not what form that ether takes. Ascian souls are no exception.
So you mean we could have just taken a primal?
I shall put an end to 1,000 years of conflict.
I don't know, do you promise?
Be they sown by Ascian, dragon, or primal, wheresoever the seeds of chaos threaten to quicken, I shall excise them with my divine blade and bring order to the world. I have become that which you abhor, warrior of light.
I think you already reached that point far before this.
I shall answer you with my blade.
You just gotta leave the casket there? Like, that's a whole ass casket. I bet that's pretty expensive. Yorva's like, this is probably like 40k. This casket. Like, caskets are ridiculously expensive. One made of that material? I like that it's just gone. Alright, Hachi. We have guest star. Hachi Hikari. Oh, I must have something else selected. I was like, what? I should meet item level requirements. Yes, I do. Yeah, I went back and I was like, okay. Pro tip, if you're ever just desperate for gear, your weapon will usually carry you through the worst of it. For all newbies out there, your weapon, just make sure your weapon gets secured. Get the most powerful weapon you can. And then try not to get hit. But I'm like... Alright, so here's all of these unnamed guys that we probably should have known some more information about, but we only know maybe like 3 of them.
Come to call upon the true power of the Heavensward.
Shut up, Zephyrin. You want to be the pick-me so bad.
Fight me if you will, warrior of light.
Okay. She's like, I got this katana.
All who stand against me will be destroyed, be they servants of the darkness or the light. By my blessing shall all men be sanctified, and an endless era of peace begin. Vice and conflict shall cease to be.
I sure it will be. Like, nothing bad will happen ever again.
Yet what have you to offer my people in its stead? Bitter truth? Virtuous suffering?
A future, maybe? That's not full of death and fighting? That sounds pretty good.
No matter. If you believe your cause just, I call upon you to defend it with your life.
Like, when am I not doing that, to be honest? Lavender Bun Boy? Oh my, immediately I see them. I was like, get out of that cutscene. Oh my gosh. One of my problems with playing Samurai is having to remember to stay within melee range. At least I have MP. I was playing Monk earlier as why I was having to get out of Monk transformation into Samurai before starting Ether Chemical, but Monk still continues to suck. Like, there's no like ranged move. Alright, avoid the gaze, the dragon gaze. I do love this battle music. But like, I can't believe like I'm like level 60 monk and I have like no ranged ability whatsoever, unlike all the other melee classes. There's no MP, there's no throwing knives, no lance, whatever Dragoon has. Oh, it's like we didn't get one of those towers, but that was fine, but then we all got paralyzed. You know, this EX fight was okay. This part's very chaotic because you fight all 12 of the knights, but they come in bursts. Can you imagine, like, if EX was, like, all 12 of them on the field all at once? This part of the fight is chaotic because they're all just teleporting in and out of the fight, and it's like these two finish, and then there's this guy. Is this Grino? As he's doing that, I just see, as you savor a taco, I'm seeing that in my chat. The evidence is there. Now all of China knows you ate a taco while Sir Grinno was trying to kill us. Oh shit. Is that him again, or do we have another axe wielding? Just gonna turn off the HUD for this one. Nothing we can do. So all of them. Yeah, more important in the EX fight, but if you don't do the mechanics right, this will you'll just, and then like that all happens, and then you look at your health bar, and it's like, oh, a paper cut, like. And then he just stammers around for that last bit. He's not actually damaging anybody much at all. He's lost all of his power. Oh, fumbled with the sword. A whole ass dragoon.
How can this be? A millennium of prayer and the eye's power combined, and still you stand. Who? What are you?
He actually died of a heart attack right there. It had nothing to do with the fight. He just got so scared of me that he had a heart attack right there on the spot and died. Yorva's like, it's amazing what a little bit of dramatic lighting can do for you. Anybody gonna take that sword? Like, that's all of Haldreth in sword form. That's like very Utena of him. He just like became... This is a very rare occasion where I'm taller than you. This is just, it brings me immense joy. Like, look at how tiny you are compared to me. There's the taco. Okay, so there's gonna be a new lore that, after we defeat Thornton, Hachi, just gets everybody tacos, and we all just eat tacos. Or maybe in that scene where he's like, who? What are you? And Hachi's over there with the taco, like...
I had hoped that mine would be the hand to end it. But knowing you, there was little chance of that.
Estain, you just would have been enthralled, and then we would have had bigger things on our hands. Like, it's like, you can have this back now, I guess. Like,
it would seem the eye has served you well.
Apparently it's drained of energy. Like, I don't think that's true. He's like, well, is anybody gonna take this sword? This sword's pretty cool. New lore, Hachi just ate tacos.
It's twin. At long last.
Now I can make them into a
that
pair of
remains
boobs.
is to take them beyond the reach of man and dragon both. With this task accomplished, my toil shall finally be at an end.
Do you promise? It's like, hold on. This is a lot of Taco Bell all at once. He's like, no, I was gonna push them together on my chest and make a pair of boobs. Oh, thou hast done well to resist mine influence, bathed in my power and blood as thou wert. Alas, in thine anticipation of comfort, thou hast lowered thy guard! Dun dun dun! The keening of my fallen kindred, their smoldering desire for vengeance. Mine eyes have partaketh of 1,000 years of pain, a pain which I shall bestow onto thee. Dude, I think he's already familiar with that. Drink deep of my rage, mortal, and become me! Yeah, he's like forced kin. He's kidding Nidstidian now. See, that had to at least been the second take. You know, like Laha Brain Igiorum need to take that. Like Robert Vernon probably did a few more takes than one. Estinahog. Nidstinian. Yorva's like, oh, that happened real quick. Like, at this point, Warrior Fight's like, just watch that. I don't even know if we got insight into what was going on with Estinian.
Nidhogg, my child, what hath thy fury made of thee?
He's an angry ghost.
Let us away, servant of High.
Hachi is to the side, eating a taco. All as Estinian just went through all of that. I like to believe at this point, like, maybe Hachi dropped the taco and was like, She's that gif of that one show where everything's on fire and she comes in with like a box full of tacos and it's just like the rest of the party trying to put out the fire.
Chief! Over there! Oi!
See, wouldn't it be wild if Warrior of Light had no idea that this, like, Nidhogg was talking to Estinian right there?
God's damn it, you always have to cut it so bloody close.
Everybody's like, haha, everything's cool, and they're like, where's Estinian? It's just like, about that. Did anybody see the very large dragon? Like, they were flying up in the air. Did they not see a giant Nidhogg-looking dragon fly out of there? Did they not do that? Like,
it would seem she has done it again.
Was there ever any doubt?
they're like, haha, let's celebrate with tacos. Taco Bell.
Let us return to Ishgard. Our friends will be eager to learn the battle's outcome and welcome back their champion.
They're like, everything's fine. Meanwhile, Warrior of Light's like, I have extremely bad news. But like, oh wait, is she gonna finally?
Where is Estinian?
There we go, finally. The smartest person on the boat. She's like, wait a minute, that dragon can only hold one person. But like, Warrior of Light point of view with Estinian is just like, he picks it up, then he starts screaming, and then all of a sudden there's a giant dragon in front of him. That all happens within a matter of seconds in front of the Warrior of Light. Warrior of Light's gotta be like, what? Like, can you imagine even like not even registering and then just watching as Nidhogg flies up through an opening in the ceiling? And you're just like, hold on, what just happened?
I dare say you are the first soul in Ishgardian history to arrive in our city upon Dragonback. This scene shall be remembered for 1,000 years to come.
I'm pretty sure your people were riding dragons before me, but I want to be cool, so let's just say, yeah, I'm the first person to do it.
As we had feared, the Archbishop summoned the soul of King Thordan into himself, and thence became a primal.
So then we had to kill this guy.
But he and his knights are no more, thanks to the Warrior of Light.
Da, da, da.
Your struggles are not yet over, mortals.
He says that and the music immediately stops.
Do I have the pleasure?
Midgardsormr, like, record scratches.
I am Midgardsormr. I have journeyed with Hydaelyn's champion and observed her deeds in the conflict between man
I also
and
love how
dragon.
kind of nervous Aymeric was. He's like, who are you? And he's like, I'm the father of all dragons. And Aymric's like, okay.
Children of Thordan, do you desire peace?
I mean, it would be kind of cool. I would also like a new car. I love that they're just
My people have committed unspeakable atrocities against dragonkind, even against our own. Would that we could undo these wrongs. But we cannot. Be that as it may, the future yet presents a chance to begin anew. Our nation has broken free of the shackles of a false faith, and Nidhogg shall lead his kindred against us no more.
Do you promise?
I doubt not that it will require much effort and perseverance. But 'tis my belief that in time, Ishgard will again become a place where man and dragon may abide together in harmony.
That sounds like a promise that could be made.
Thy words.
Midgardsormr will remember this.
Yet be warned, Nidhogg's soul liveth on.
Inside of your boyfriend.
His unbridled rage hath claimed for its vessel the one thou callest the Azure Dragoon.
Estinian.
Doubt not but that Nidhogg will call out to his brood ere long, nor that they shall answer him. Steel yourselves, for the true test is yet to come.
Come what may, we will never cease to believe. Upon the souls of they who have sacrificed themselves to pave the way for peace, we will never abandon our cause.
See, Aymeric always comes out of, like, these cutscenes with, like, the best lines.
It may take generations. What thou dost begin, thy children must continue. Entrust unto them thy hopes and dreams, that peace may reign again, and forevermore.
He's like, I'm off to go get talkies now. I haven't had those in a millennia. Yeah, Aymeric, at least in the expansion proper, he doesn't get too many scenes, but he comes out with, like, the most banger lines. So this is Ishgard now finally joining the Eorzean Alliance. They were once a part of this alliance a long time ago, but they...
Let all here present attest that Sir Emmerich, acting on behalf of the Archbishop, has appended his signature. I do hereby declare that from this day forth, the Holy See of Ishgard shall once more be counted a member of the Eorzean Alliance. Let our nations move forward as one and stand united against the Garlean Empire.
Yeah, so they had once pulled out of the Alliance to go fight for the... Oh, this is kind of like a throwback to a Rubberborn. He's like, I don't have another arm. I just have the one arm.
For the future of Eorzea.
So this is a really nice moment.
Future of Eorzea!
At least something nice is coming out of the ending here. The balance has been restored.
There you are.
She's like, I wanted to show Hotchefont my cool sword. It's really cool. Do you see it?
A noble monument to a noble soul.
From here, Lord Hotchefont can watch over all of Ishgard.
It has been a long and arduous journey, and we have lost much and more along the way. Yet come what may, we must stay true to our purpose and press on.
That's right, you two. It's high time we got back to rebuilding the Scions.
And I got back to getting Jello shots.
And lots of it.
And Jello shots. Alright, am I gonna have to... Waiting for the credits. If I let it play for too long.
So ends a glorious chapter in their tale.
Everybody lives happily ever after.
However, tumultuous days yet lie ahead for Ishgard. After 1,000 years under the yoke of the Church, the people take their first tentative steps into the unknown. And though they spy a glimmer of peace upon the horizon, Nidhogg's vengeful shadow yet remains to darken the way. Be that as it may, so long as the young commander of the Temple Knights and his heroic companions are there to guide them, the people may hold fast to hope. The hope that one day true peace will return to Ishgard, and that man and dragon may live in harmony once more. Let the deeds writ herein never be forgot, that they may inspire generations yet unborn to strive ever heavensward.
He said the title. Okay. As soon as it's able to, I need to... Can't get copyright striked. They don't like it when we play the music.
So Lahabrea and Igaeorm have fallen. Bested by mortals in their attempt to initiate the Eighth Rejoining. That they should be so complacent. And now it falls to me to deal with the consequences.
I mean, that's
Without
leadership for you.
The balance between light and darkness will begin to shift, placing our mission in jeopardy. Hydaelyn's champion has grown too strong. Her might encroaches upon the realm of gods. Equilibrium must needs be restored. The time has come for you and yours to join the fray. Warrior of Darkness.
Ooh. Who is this mysterious stranger? On the moon? We'll never find out. And now for this plot point.
Remind me, why is there no rest for the righteous?
Sid just really wants to retire.
Because they care, Master Garland.
He's like, oh yeah, I do. I care a lot. I care way too much. Yeah, this thing. The thing that I was like, don't pay attention to that. We don't need to worry. It's fine. They're like, whoa! And that's the most, I mean, you just go running. Though I would think the sensible thing is to run away, but they're like, I'm gonna run to that.
Of all the things they could have picked to play with, that's not a toy, you bloody fools, it's a primal!
And that begins the Alexander quest line. Unlike in a Realm Reborn where everybody clapped for me, everybody's just kind of sitting around, but it's like this is not a time for clapping. If the Eorzean Alliance can be restored to its former glory, so can the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. That's right, Tataru. Let us find our lost friends and begin anew. We've already found Y'shtola. That's like half of the group. I don't know. She holds the power of half the group. After long years of estrangement, Ishgard rejoins her sister nations in the Alliance. Words cannot express my joy, or well express my joy. None of this would have been possible without you, my friend. I think that's fair. I kind of did a lion's share of work there. Change is coming to Eorzea, though it will inevitably bring with it a measure of upheaval. Alfio's like, I'm sure a little bit of conflict will happen. It's like, Alfio, you think only a little bit of conflict is going to happen? With hard work, peace and prosperity are sure to follow. Do you promise? And yet, Even as we look forward to the coming of a new age, we must needs be wary of old threats. The lords of Garlemald have not relinquished their claim upon Eorzea, and we shall be forced to contend with them again ere long. And then there is the matter of our comrade Estinian. Yeah, when he starts mentioning... So when I first had this, I was like, Estinian's fucking dead, Alfino. We need to let that go. He's gone. He's been claimed body and soul by Nidhogg. If there was a way to rescue him, we must find it. Suffice it to say, the path ahead holds no shortage of challenges, but together we shall overcome them. And that was Heavensward. I like that we did that in Idleshire's mount speed has been increased. So... I can dive right back into the main story. Or we could take a looky at what's been going on in Idleshire. I think there's also some dungeons we can do. What was the first, level 60 dungeon? I'm trying to remember. It can't be Neverreap, but I know Neverreap was kind of in the middle. There's this one. What is this about? That picture doesn't help me. Are you serious? It's Neverreap? Oh yeah, Fractal. I don't want to do Neverreap. Ah. Well. Oh, that's Warring Triad. Warring Triad would be a good story to get. In fact, I was mentioning earlier, like, Warring Triad is optional, but highly recommended. I mean, it's the dang raid, or I should say, Primal Fight. I'm pulling up the dungeon list. Because first I need to know how the heck do you unlock it. Well, I'm pretty sure Neverreap has to, we're gonna do Neverreap, and then I can spend the entire time complaining about it. Hachi, do you want to go on the Neverreap adventure? Because this is it's telling me. So on the Wikipedia you can visit, and if there's like a red X mark, you know, where there should be duty, that means it is not soloable. Actually, now that I think about it, I'm going to have to okay. Just do... Yeah, see, they won't allow me to teleport into there because I don't have flight. This one is the other one. I'll go back to it in a minute. Okay, so I'm going to have to actually teleport. We'll just get the worst one out of the way, and you know, if we have another one, we'll do Fractal. And Fractal still sucks. It just doesn't suck like Neverreap. Now it's called Reap What You Sow. Oh hey, you gave me an XP bonus. I was like, whoa, what just happened to me? I honestly can't even remember the story to this. I seriously think this quest hasn't been done by me in over a decade. I can promise that. Like nourishing rains after a long summer drought, Netherling's return may bring succor in our time of need. Yeah, it is shorter. I think we all hated Neverreap because it's just long as shit, and also, there was a time where if you went into any roulette, it was going to be Neverreap for the entire week. And yeah, I really can't remember. Sanuvan is going to tell us why we even went into Neverreap, but Zundu spies send word of activity in Okzundu's Mulk. Okzundu Mulk. Is that another place? Anyways, deep within Vundu territory. Such news bodes ill for Okzundu. Something was happening here. We would know more of this coming storm, but spies struggled to slip past watchful gazes of Vundu guards. Netherling's strength and courage is always reliable, and Sonu asks her to brave enemy territory and bring news of what stirs in Oak Vundu Mulk. Okay, so that's just Neverreap, or what's in Neverreap. Once again, Netherling proves she is a stout ally of the Zundu. Zephyr winds at your back, speed your way. Oh wait, I did the society quest, oops. Well, I want that anyways, there we go. No, I was just dumb there, I talked to the wrong person. Sanu Vanu's like, actually, I'm the one. The great Netherling warrior who chased the clouds from our land returns, like gentle zephyr wind. Yorva's like, I get it, like, I'm the zephyr wind. Sanu has plea and hopes Netherling lends an ear. Zundu takes shelter from the Vundu storm by virtue of peace offerings and respect commanded by Zundu chief. Now, though, the rains threaten to fall. Sanuvanu is like, I'm right here, yeah. Sanuvanu is like, actually, I'm the one about Neverreap. And Yorva's like, oh, I'm sorry, I just talked to the wrong person. The rains threaten to fall again. The symbol of Chief's power is the great mask he wears, a mask that grows old and worn. Please do not tell me we go into Neverreap because we need another mask. Ugh. A chief who wears shabby mask is a chief who commands as much respect as a summer day's drizzle. I don't know, summer day's drizzle, like... you know... I know, there's Sanu Vanu and Sonu Vanu, and I'm like, which one do I talk to? Tribal mask is made from the scale of the Wakaon. Oh yeah, the Sanua at the very end. Okay, a giant Sanua who nests on Neverreap, where the Vanu Vanu are forbidden to go. The wicked Vundu seek to hoard power and influence for themselves. They seize control of Neverreap and forbid poor Zundu from entry. But they cannot keep out the great Netherling who tamed the White. Go to Neverreap, Netherling, and snatch the scale of the Wakaon from the Vundu's evil clutches. I don't know, what is worse, this or getting the cheese recipe? I don't know. Toru Vadu will be your guide. He awaits you outside the village. Pray, go swiftly, Netherling, and chase away the coming storm. Okay, so... First of all... Is he wearing a mask? I guess there is something, like, over his beak here. Anyways, his horns are majestic and awesome, and his entire design is great. So I'm like, he looks fine, guys, but... Like, really? The reason we go to Neverreap is because we need some sort of scale off of, snaky Winged beast. Actually, can I even get there without flight? I'm trying to think here. I don't have that part of the map unlocked, but that does not look like... I might have to go back and unlock flight. We're gonna have to kill this guy, Hachi. Oops, I ran into that. Cause I cannot fly there, so let's go find the quests. Oh yeah, that's right. For a minute, I forgot. I forgot that you can just use your friends. When in doubt, cheat. Oh good, I get to be on the back. I actually have no idea what Yorva looks like writing something. Thank you. Hachi has saved the day. Do you know where... here, let me link it. Where is... Hold on. Unfortunately, the chat button is in the way, and I can't see if I'm on party or not. Okay, I am on party. There we go. Yeah, my chat button was covered. Yeah, it's like a really good thing you're here because we would have had to take a detour to go unlock flight. I have some of the areas unlocked. Western Highlands, Dravanian Forelands, Churny Miscut, and of course Ozzy's Law, but you just get that. Yeah, you do need flight to reach here. All they had to do was just build a little bridge right there. But I think it's fair to assume that people should have flight unlocked now. Alright, Tonu Vanu. Tonu Vanu went for Netherling Warrior, and Netherling Warrior comes. And there's another Netherling Warrior with purple lights. Netherling braves never reap to retrieve the Wakaon scale for Zundu. Tonu's heart flutters in the gentle winds of Netherling's kindness. Neverreap is sacred land to the Vanu Vanu, but Vundu come with their wicked ways and transform Neverreap into a tempest of terrors. Watch your tail feathers, Netherling. Ugh. There has to be a worse dungeon than this, right? Let's see. Oh, I gotta clear the singularity reactor. Do you wish to be... Okay, I was like, do you wish to be tank? Let's see... Neverreap. Instant Q. Amazing. I would expect nobody wants to do this dungeon. I'm so sorry to everybody that we're about to pull into this. But once we're done, we don't have to come back here. This is technically... optional dungeon. Honestly, this is a good break from the serious story, though. It's good to showcase some of this content where it's like, you know... Welcome to Neverreap. Oh my gosh, we have 2 Lalafell with us. That's amazing. Yeah, I've been in a lot of instances where, I've had, like, all Lalafell parties. and those are amazing. But there's something about being very tall and getting 3 other Lalafell, like, that just feels like something special has happened. Yeah, I know the other reason why we dislike this dungeon is the design of it. You're hopping across these little islands in the air. Not very fun, and makes for pulling enemies to be kind of crappy. You know, as much as I'm like, really, we're gonna be here because of a mask, I'd do anything for Sanuvanu. He is probably one of my favorite beast tribe leaders. Also, the Vanu are they're just friend shaped, like. This is also why I hated Never Reap. It's like, good luck if, like, especially if you're a caster, you'll have to move around everywhere. And then these things just throw you up into the air. And then, of course, the enemies have these point-blank AoEs. Yeah, I believe this is one of the factors of why we hate Nether Reap. Who the hell likes little tornadoes to avoid while you beat up enemies? Like... Oh yeah, I do remember the almost entirely Hrothgar Alliance raid. Okay, Hrothgar out there, hit me up. I'm now on a Hrothgar main. There actually was the Lalafell. I think it's just called Laladay. I think that happened on Materia. I wasn't able to go to it though because I had plans to go out and I couldn't be online. I was out touching grass. But if I had nothing else to do, I put that in my calendar as something to do. But there was just going to be like a whole Lalafell parade, so I was going to visit Materia with Ziyaya. But I wonder if there's like a Hrothgar day where just a bunch of Hrothgar meet up. Actually, somebody very sweet walked up to me while I was in Gridania. I can't remember what server I was on because, like I said, I've been server hopping because if I stay on Leviathan, if you don't have an FC, people just bombard you with FC invites, and it's like, I try to set myself to busy, but I don't like to, oh, he's over here. To describe this fight, this is also another crappy fight where you just have to run around in this fog and wait until you find... It's not even the real boss, it's like the shadow of the boss. Oh, I don't even want to talk about Totem Fight. Yeah, I'm slowly starting to remember why we hated this dungeon. This dungeon just all around sucks. Oh, our other DPS is also TC'd. I was like, I wonder why they're not here. And I'm like, that's usually it. That's okay. I can DPS for the rest of us. Ah, I didn't make it. Shit. Is he over here? Yeah. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, somebody came up to me and was like, "I love your femme Hrothgar. There's not enough of them." Like, well, they are really new. I didn't say that to them, but I was like, they're one of the newest races, but yes, like any excuse to be a very tall woman, I'm going to take it. But also, Hrothgar are just one of the first female models, mostly, that are pretty unique. I was actually severely disappointed with female Al Ra when they came out. I mean, nowadays I think they're totally fine. I love female Al Ra, but the main thing was that we finally got like really big towering, another big towering race, and then the female Al Ra were hearers with scales and horns, and that was extremely disappointing. Because male Al Ra got the height, but then they also got kind of a flatter face and some racial features that kind of did make them look pretty otherworldly. But they did not want to push that envelope on the female side. It was mostly female beauty standards, once again, with maybe a bit of straightness. You got to have umbral rings, which were cool, and the scales, and the tail. That was important, tail. But it just didn't really feel like, more than just, again, another human character with, some features. At least with the Makote, it was like, okay, male or female, you're just a hearer with some kind of cat-like features on it. And then the Hrothgar came out, and the male Hrothgar, which again, we already knew what they were going to look like because we already have Ronso in Final Fantasy X. And that one was, again, like pushing the character model to something pretty different. And so when female Hrothgar came out, I was a little bit worried because I thought we were going to get yet another Makote, but now just add more fur. Well, I know you're saying my kingdom for a sailor. That might come. That kind of color change might come. How do you pronounce it? Sclera? I think that's how it is. I don't usually have to say that word. But yeah, the parts of the eyes that aren't the pupils. Yeah, I know it. I mean, they're going to be offering a lot more customization with color in Evercold. So maybe on the future. All we know is that they're going to have a color wheel now for sure. I have no idea where things are going to happen, but I'm just going to put that here. Oh, it's still like on the edge. There we go. Anything else? Oh. I thought that was getting picked up. I saw somebody behind me. Well. Oh, really? Managed to hit every single one of these guys. Okay. Is that all of them? Oh, there's still more! Oh my god. We only have 4 people! Yeah, I was sitting there like, Oh, maybe Never Reap was bad, but it wasn't that bad, right? No, it was this bad. Never Reap is the worst dungeon of Heavensward, if not the entire Final Fantasy XIV dungeon list. Maybe I shouldn't put them so close to that. I don't know. He's gonna target exactly this. Is that one counting? I can't tell. I know for this one for sure it's gonna count. Ah, I couldn't pick it up fast enough. We really need like all hands on deck for that. My god. Yes, audience, welcome to the most annoying fight where it requires you to sit down and pick something up. And oh my god, there's so many of these. Okay, I'm so done. It's just like interrupts whatever the heck you're doing. Yeah, that fight sucks. Luckily, I remember the final boss being like pretty okay. I believe you can get knocked off the platform, which again is annoying. Any fight that has a mechanic where you can get knocked off the platform. But I think the totem fight is honestly the worst of Never Reap, and then you can just try to forget you're here for the rest of the fight, I guess. I got interrupted. Alright, back to my Hrothgar discussion. I was very happy to see that female Hrothgar ended up pushing the model. We finally got, after what, all we had was Rugiden. Yeah, don't even talk to me about Dropsy. Dropsy is the one status affliction in this game that is surprisingly really bad. Like, when you first encounter Dropsy, you're like, oh, this is okay. It's like, that is a status effect that could get way out of hand real fast if you do not keep an eye on it. Or better yet, just Asuna, if it is Asunable. Not all the time it is. But yeah, I've been very excited about the color changes that are going to be coming to character customization, because while I'm pretty satisfied with Yorva's design, I was kind of going for like a snow leopard thing, because with the Lost, they usually have like white or black colorings going on. I also have a, I want to say Hellsguard, but that's a Rugiden. The other one. The one where they come from another parts of Eilsabard. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe most of the Baja contingent consisted of the Lost. When it came to Hrothgar fashion. Or factions, or Grebe. No, you can't take it back. Your Hrothgar is Grebe. Grebe. Laughing my ass off. Grebe. Grebe is my favorite color. What the hell happened here? The tank went off the cliff, yeah. I thought so. I just came in and it's like, the tank is just dead. The fight has not started, but the tank is just dead. Shroud So when color tweaks come out, I have a pink. I have a pink Hrothgar. I wanted her to be completely pink, and I made her. It's actually pretty. Yeah, I have the same markings, but this is kind of a. I guess this is not leopard, but this is jaguar or not. Jaguar or panther, you know, markings. But I made it kind of look like cherry blossoms on her fur pattern. So I wanted her to be like a cherry blossom Hrothgar. But for Yorva, I was like, oh, I really want to do the Lost. I love the lore behind the Lost. This is also, where is that? Oh, there it is. This is the famous soccer ball. Yeah, it turns into a soccer ball. You cannot damage Okaon, and you can also get knocked off the platform. And if the soccer ball hits you, you also take a lot of damage. Okay. And then, to top it all off, everybody's favorite mechanic, the twister that you constantly have to keep turning your camera. Oh, and if you keep an eye on it, well, good luck. There's going to be another tornado that comes out of nowhere. Okay, soccer ball. Oh, there goes the twister. Oh, God. There we go. Yorva's like, let us never come back here again. Yeah. What do we got? A bow? I mean, oh, I could use that. Or wait, I already have a better chest piece. Never mind. It's pants that I need. All right. Well, I just gotta go back to Sanuvanu. Let's just go teleport there. Yeah, we can also do the Beast Tribe, just not today, but yeah, I do need. Well, yeah. There's a few things wrong with my headgear. I'll let the audience figure out, like, spot the difference, but it's like, tell me what's wrong with the headgear. Nethering wears the triumphant look of one who weathers the storm. Also, your hat is broken. It's not even on your head. You returned from Neverreap with a Wakayan scale, yes? This Sanu knows. Netherling bears the scale, and it is a mighty one indeed. Fashion a mask from this, and Zudu Chief will command the authority of a furious storm of lightning. Yorva's like, okay, so it's magical? But that is not all the Netherling accomplishes. No, Netherling chases the cruel Vundu from Neverreap, returns Is it Halcyon? Yeah, Halcyon wins to our sacred land. I had to like think of like, okay, it's the album by Ellie Goulding. Gotta say it. Say it right. We Zundu are not like our cruel Vundu brothers. Gentle like spring breeze. We welcome Netherlings with open wings. And we're fun to hug, too. We're so fluffy. Sanu's heart is warmed by the gentle sunlight of your friendship. That's a really nice way of saying, like, we're friends. Promise us that you will remain a friend to the Zundu for many seasons to come. Oh, I've been friends with you guys for, like, more than 10 years, guy. I'm trying to think. Oh, I did pick up that bandana, so why didn't it put up? I'm not good at that. Can I wear that bandana? Oh, yeah, this is a bandana I can wear. It's one of the hats I'm allowed to have. There we go. We solved the head crisis. What else? I was like, what's this level 30 thing? It's my Soul of the Samurai. The pants are severely lacking. And I'm not a fan of my rings. Like, at this point, if you're still wearing level 59, don't fret. It's like eye level 148. Anyways, one of the reasons why you should always go through the optional dungeons, I mean, besides that you need it for duty finder reasons, like, what I'm remembering, because, like, when I've been on accounts like Zuyaya, it's just so easy to obtain gear for your classes. That's not what I wanted. What was it exactly that I wanted here? To get back to Ishgard, do I have to go... Oh wait, I'll just teleport. That way Hachi can come with me. So... gaining gear from the ground up when you're a new player or on an alt character where you're starting from new, you come to realize that gearing is hard. Unless you're just blowing through, you know, the storyline and everything, but I do have quite a bit of poetics. I think I only had 300 when I started this morning. But anyways, these give you poetics and also a chance at gear, so it's important. Dordosham. Ah, Yorva, I was looking for you, or rather, your friend Wedge was. He's like, I don't know about that. Left a most puzzling message, he did, with instructions to convey it to you verbatim. He requests your presence at the Electrochemical Research Facility in Ozzy's Law. Like, you don't know? Weren't you on the project to go to... He's like, Ozzy's Law. And it's like, weren't you working on the airship that got us to Ozzy's Law? Anyways. Sounds like nonsense to my ears, but he assured me that you would grasp its intent. Well, that's the message. And now I've delivered it. Oh my god, this guy's like, my job here is done, and Yorva's like, but you didn't do anything. I think he's the one who will send you to Ozzy's Law, isn't he? Yorva, was it? We have an airship standing by which can ferry you to Ozzy's Law. You just 5 seconds ago couldn't understand what Ozzy's Law is. I understand Electrochemical Research Facility. That might be but I think you can understand what it might be by research facility. I think you might be able to, like, use some context clues there. And then he's like, I don't know what Ozzy's Law is. And then you immediately talk to him, and he's like, would you like to go to Ozzy's Law? And it's like, I thought you didn't, I thought you didn't know what that is. You parkoured too hard. In Ishgard? Hachi's dying over there, and Yorva's like, she'll be fine. Oh man, it's gonna be weird now. I'm like, Yorva's hanging out with Zuyaya's wife, but I'm Zuyaya, but also I'm not Zuyaya. I'm gonna have to figure out where Yorva fits in the lore. Or maybe this is just alternate universe shit. Oh, there you are, Yorva! I've been waiting for you, and so is an old friend of ours. You remember Gilly, don't you? Yorva's like, yeah, Gilly straight up fucking died. I was feeling awfully lonely without her, so I snuck out the back door when the chief wasn't looking. What do you mean, what back door? Of the ship? Did you just fall down here? How did you get up here, Wedge? What did you fly? Anyways, look at her now. Systems down, no power to utter even a single blip. Doesn't it just break your heart, Yorva? Left alone in this wasteland for thousands of years, just waiting for someone to help. And as soon as she's done her duty, clog. Tossed to the side like a rusty old suit of armor. He couldn't fly Gilly. Gilly's dead. Gilly's dead. Well, I won't stand for it. We won't stand for it. I'm going to bring Gilly back to life, and you're going to help me. I'm not asking. This is a demand. At first I had a mind to fix her up myself, but I fear she's proven beyond my abilities to repair. That's when I hit upon it. If we found a new body for Gilly, we could transfer her personality and memories right into it. It'd be like she never left. We're gonna Soma this bitch. I know what you're thinking. And just where are we going to find this new body, Wedge? I've got 3 words for you. The Fractal Continuum. You know, what this whole quest is about. It's an old warship that was converted into a museum of Allegan technology. Can you believe that war criminals had time for museums? If there's a place we can find a new body for Gilly, it'll be there. And it's just a short trip away from the Matter Conduit 6-7 to boot. You'll go, won't you? For Gilly's sake? Yorva's like, well, I think Yorva's like, I already went to Neverreap to go get a scale for the chief of the... It's the Voodoo, right? Yeah, the Voodoo. Yorva's like looking at her hand like, Voodoo good, Zundu not good. Oh wait, I can tell by the... Oh, Zundu good, Voodoo not good. If you ever forget, you just look at the teleporter and it says Oak Zundu. They are named after Zundu, so Zundu good. And down here... You know, now that I think about it, how does Estinian get up to the Aerochemical Research Facility? How did any of them make it up there? We had to fly on Midgardsormr's back to get up there. I guess Sid had his... Is there something I'm supposed to be talking to here? I guess I just hit this? Teleport is available from this location to Fractal Continuum. or to the fractal continuum. The greatest storehouse of technological marvels in all of Alec. The fractal continuum is temporarily closed to tourists. Access is limited to those with level 3 security clearance or higher. Unauthorized visitors will be removed via the continuum's anti-intruder defense system. How nice of them to inform us of that, like, to let us... It's just a heads up, there's stuff you're gonna have to fight in there. Thank you, and we hope you enjoy your visit. Water break. I have a very good water mix right now. I have a mango mix in my water right now. I was feeling like I really want juice, but I'm having a no caffeine sugar day, so it's one of those days. Alright, you ready for Fractal? This is gonna be a little bit better, even though it still kinda sucks. Hachi leaning, doing the Estinian lean. But yeah, I have like a packet, or like a whole package of... I think it's just Flavor Aid. I mostly bought it because I like the cucumber limeade packet. They're like these 0-calorie packets you can add to your water. It's what I do when I want a sweet treat, but my body demands that I have no caffeine, and I should say the least amount of sugar I can produce. Cause like what, even bread has sugar? Okay, I haven't gotten out of this cutscene, but I see Mick Moogle and Mighty Mog. I'm ready. No, I'm not. Oh man, I just got a glimpse of... I love tanks. It's usually tanks. Also, the music in this dungeon's pretty good. The Allegans at least know how to party. And I guess talking point about the Allegans, so Ozzy's Loft, that wasn't picked up immediately by our adventures here. This was their precursor, this was their like NASA space program to encapsulating Bahamut in a moon capsule. They also did plenty of other things in here. Of course, like right now, we're technically in a museum, I guess. Looks like they still got their cloning projects. If we do the Finding Coil quest, which I believe we probably should. Yeah, the royal we. By we, I mean me. But, oh yeah, this was like immediate Ravana recolor. I guess this is Ravana's bottle. Alright, I gotta move this to here, and everybody just hold on a minute. I gotta readjust my hotbar. Gotta figure out my zip zooms, honestly. Forgot to put my dot. Too busy messing with my hotbar. Anyways, every time we have to delve into Allegan, anything in this game, it always makes me think of like what could have happened if apocalypses didn't ravage the entire world time after time. I mean, if you think about it, I think it took a while for the Ascians to set up another, you know, calamity. I'm trying to think how many years had passed between the one we had just experienced and the last one. And I think it had to been like, you know, several generations of people. But like, we come on the scene as warriors of light, and the Ascians are like, we're gonna make another apocalypse happen within the next year, and it's like, what's speeding up your timeline for this? Because, I mean, I'm sure they would love to just do one calamity after the other, but it usually takes some time for them to even get that going. But it's like they're trying to fast track this all within a couple of years. But I think about the Allegans sometimes because, I mean, these are very advanced. They had cloning technology, they had AI, they had computers. Meanwhile, nobody in Eorzea knows what a computer is. Very... At least, unless they spend some time in the Ironworks or with Garleans, because Garleans do know. Because Garleans are kind of like the second Allegan Empire, but we won't go into why that is. All I can think of is how technologically advanced would the world be had there not been all of these calamities? It just kind of sends people back. I remember there was... It was either the second or third calamity. There was made mention that it kind of sent people back to nearly the Stone Age, pretty much where they had to do hunter-gatherer type things again. Like, there's kind of a reset of society. And of course, as time goes on, it gets a little bit... Like, I think it would have been devastating if the last calamity sent us back to the Stone Age, but I don't think that was very possible. So... But I think one of the biggest resets was, the calamity that befell Ancient Alleg, which that was a grand earthquake, which... That one did set society back quite a lot. I'm not sure by what degree. Trying to think of the timeline here. See, without looking at the Wikipedia, it's kind of hard to say like anything definitive. But from what I remember, the story goes, like, the Allegan Empire rose. They, of course, were horrible people. Not to say all of their citizens were. It was their government doing this awful crap. And of course, there's always hints of Ascian influence going on here, as they are wont to do with all societies, really. And this is where you have to get away, right? Yeah, okay. I This is the one where we just stay away from the incubators and try not to break them, right? Oh my god. Okay, that's Slash, so you just gotta get behind him. There we go. That's Swipe again. So the Alligans rose to the top power that they were. This is where we get one of the incubators, right? We can't really break them, can we? Is that another fight I'm thinking of? I think it is. But that is the correct feast. He's always like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Food time. He's like, food time. Does a little happy dance. Right over here. Oops. So Crystal Tower teaches us that the Elegant Emperor of the time, he devises this plan to open up a portal to the world of darkness, which is, you know, the land of the Void Sent, aka the 13th. And he's gonna harness... See, this is what gets me. These evil bad guys are like, I'm going to open a portal to awful icky shit. And then we're like, okay, cool. And then what do you expect to happen? And then the bad guys are like, well, obviously, I'm going to be in control 100%, and nothing bad is going to happen. I'm just going to flawlessly be able to take over with this newfound power that I have, and, you know, it'll all be fine. And then, wow, wowzers, who would have ever guessed? It didn't turn out fine. But more than that, eventually the calamity of Earth hit, and it caused a huge, giant earthquake, which split open the ground in multiple places, razed cities, pretty much like cities were just crumbling from the earthquake. And I have to imagine like it was multiple earthquakes or something like that, because probably went on for a while. And so that's why a lot of the ruins are found underground or some shit, or, in the case of Ozzy's Law, you know, earthquakes can't touch you if, do we have to kill these guys? I'm just gonna kill it anyways. Or you can't have an earthquake if you're up in the sky, so a lot of things needed to happen where, a lot of Allagan's shit only survived because it either wasn't touching the ground or, you know, through some miraculous means, it didn't crumble to all fucking hell, when the grand earthquakes happened. So, this is why Allag is a bit mysterious, because when society started to rebuild itself again, first of all, not a lot of people, survived. I have to imagine most of the world's population had to have died out, so that's kind of a bummer. And on top of that, most of the leadership, I think, did not survive. So it was just everyday citizens coming out of their hidey holes going, what the hell do we do next? And of course those regular everyday citizens aren't going to have access to this shit. Whatever the hell this is. And lo and behold, like, hundreds of years later, we come by and we're touching crap. Going, I wonder what this button does. And then we find the curator here. And it's like, what kind of shit is going on at the museum that this has to be your security? They're like, you know what would make a really good security bot? Like, let's just make a Sphinx Griffin looking thing. That sounds like a really great idea. And it's like, why can't you just hire a security guard? Like, a la Five Nights at Freddy's, why not just hire some guard? They're like, no, let's make a Sphinx. That's what we're gonna do. Alec fell into ruin, and we'll never know the grand secret of how to make our own Sphinx security guard. I think the biggest problem, the biggest problem that ever got left behind by Alec was nobody was around to tell anybody that, hey, there is a dragon in the moon, or one of the moons. Like, oops. That was a big piece of information that, you know, society needed to remember. Nobody was around to remember that anymore. Okay. Why not? Ah, fitting. Twintanya. This is a Binding Coil reference. You get this mount from, do I have still? Yeah. Chocobo Feathers. If you sign up or sign somebody else up for, what is this, like, refer a friend program kind of thing? You can also get it if you, do like a world transfer. I didn't do it on Yorva. There is, I think Leviathan is currently congested, so if you transfer you to a preferred world, you can get extra rewards. You're back, Yorva! Oh, do tell me you brought me a new nacelle. She's like, I don't know what that is, but is it this? And she just hands it over. Why, that's a functioning nacelle if I ever saw one. She's like, you keep saying that, I don't know what that means. This will do the trick, I'm sure of it. Auto-detecting new installed nacelle, and Yorva's like, I don't know what that word means. The cell detected. Reinitializing system settings. Initialization complete. Welcome to Ozzy's Law, Master Wedge and Mistress Yorva. Gilly, could it truly be you? The very same, Master Wedge. I have stolen all of your data. I would never let go of that. And I'm running at optimal efficiency. I have your data and I'm running optimal. Thanks to my first full body overhaul in approximately 5 millennia. You really are too kind. Oh, now that's my sweet little girl. Yorva's like, Wedge, this thing has stolen all of our data. Why, after all you did for us, it was the least we could do. I love AI. Yorva's like, this AI has stolen our likeness. It's going to conduct identity theft shortly after this. I have a favor to ask you, Yorva. This might sound silly, but I want you to take Gilly with you on your adventures. I want her to see that there's more to our world than this etheric waste she calls home for 1,000 years. Hey, you know, it is a little bit too mustard yellow for my taste, but it could be worse. Yes, I say our little girl's done enough guidance. From this day forward, she's in accompaniment mode, and with you, she's going to go where no node has gone before. You know, I forgot this quest gives you a minion, and it's just this little node. And, like, all this time, I've realized, you know, for the last 10 years, ZI has probably been carrying around this node. Oh yeah, I don't have it yet. I need to do this. I need to use it. I don't know if I've ever thrown out this node before. Maybe through a random minion roulette, maybe? But I have to imagine on my other account, Wedge has been like, make sure you take the node out, and ZI is like, yeah. Stuffed it in her bag, and then it just stayed there for years on end, and the node never came out, ever. Well, let's see here. Well, so, after you've completed Heavensward, just the expansion, Neverreap and Fractal Continuum would be the first, like, optional dungeons you would do. Oh my gosh, the next one would be Saint Moshian's Arboretum. But, let's see, that is I guess I kind of, meet those item requirements, but... just leave the stream. Fucking Arby's burrito. We gotta save Arby's burrito as a special treat. I do like that dungeon. Like, anything that comes after these ones, like... yeah. Let's head to Idleshire and get some gear. Yeah, I think this is appropriate. Those two dungeons, would have been the only dungeons you could have done after completing Heavensward. And now I know why I remember that dungeon came up so much, because our options were Fractal, Neverreap, and probably Aetherochemical Research. And Neverreap just happened to be the one that everybody got over and over and over again. To the point where you're actually going, oh, thank God it's Fractal Continuum. Those days where you're like, please. Oh, it was just those two. They don't even... How are people supposed to do the Aetherochemical Research Facility? Like, that's part of the story. You need to do that. I mean, I guess now they have duty support. But back in the day, they did not have duty support. You had to wait for people to queue in to that. Heavensward was the expansion where I had the infamous 2.5 hour duty finder wait. And it was for Alliance raids. I raided 2.5 hours. So, I have to believe that if you were doing Aetherochemical Research and, like, you weren't doing it within the expansion's, like, first week of release, or pretty much when everybody was about finished and cleaning up with the game, probably had to be waiting, like, forever for... Yes, this is it. Sometimes you have to check and then double check these things. Oh, are my pants? Oh, I'm overflowing with pants. Too many pants. Okay, that takes care of pants. What else do we need desperately? Could use boots and hands. Ring would be really nice. Yeah, I do know in Realm Reborn it was Amdapor Keep and Wanderer's Palace. I'm just my question was if it was only Neverreap and Fractal, because I'm willing to believe you because I remember it was always one of those two. How are people getting through Etherochemical Research Facility for the story if nobody was queuing into it? I need a ring. Why not get a bracelet too? Or maybe I should save up for... Actually, I can just go ahead. Okay. We're doing good now. Just need some boots. I can wait on the hat because I did get something to help. But damn, like, we just went, like, almost 100 levels. I forgot it was a dungeon or several guilds are doing it. Because I'm trying to think, I don't remember main scenario being at the, and even then main scenario only was for, it was only ever for Castrum and Praetorium, and of course Portia Decumana was added later when Praetorium was tweaked a bit. So, like, main scenario was not a duty or a duty fighter thing you could do. We did not have something called high-level dungeons, but it was something else. Leveling always existed, trials always existed. Guild has an alliance raise, that's a given, but... I don't know how you did Etherochemical. I just don't remember. I guess you just had to go find some friends and be like, can you do Etherochemical? Because I'm trying to remember how I even did it. I had to go back, you know, again, like more than 10 years ago through my memory. I mean, I think I wasn't one of the first people to complete Heavensward. In fact, I'm pretty sure I was one of the last. I must have, you know, been in FC chat and just typed in there like, can anybody come with me to Etherochemical Research? I mean, I wouldn't even be surprised if Zuyaya and Hachi did it together when I did it the first time. Like, it was usually either you or one of the old FC mates, Roic, you know, that would go in with me with these things. So luckily when I first began, like, you know, we did have a good player base of friends that we knew on there, but like, you know, it's been a long time now. Most of those people, they probably don't even play anymore, you know. It's luckily we picked up, you know, Clem and then Larks later on, because Larks came to us, it was during Heavensward, wasn't it? It couldn't have been when Stormblood was first released. Clementine was with us when Stormblood was released. But Larks really wasn't too far behind me as the part of, like, how long we've been playing the game. Because I joined nearly before Heavensward began. Like, I remember having to sit on my butt and wait for the expansion to release. But, I couldn't remember if Larks maybe had just joined, like, at the release of Heavensward, or if, like, Heavensward had been out and maybe, like, a patch or something had happened. But what does Gossamer Moogle have? This seems to be some all hard. We won't do that. I'll try to go through some of the dungeons in order because, I mean, right now I probably do meet the eye level for most of those dungeons, if not all of them by now. But back in the day, like, reaching eye level 220 at this point, that would have been impossible. Looks like they were at around 160 at the time of Heavensward, you know, just being finished. It was in the level 60 dungeon roulette initially. Sorry for people who are watching. The electrochemical research was in the levels. Yeah, I remember we didn't have high level dungeons because, as you can see here, when it says duty type, it's 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. So there was just level 50. Yeah, level 50 dungeons that was on the list here. And then there was another slot that was level 60 dungeons. Wasn't that correct? I remember, like, back in those days, you know, there was either two types of dungeons. There were the Realm Reborn dungeons or there were the Heavensward dungeons. Those were the two categories you had. So, of course, if you were doing level 50, you were in Realm Reborn, and if you're doing level 60, you were in Heavensward. But, you know, we've had many expansions since that, and then this one used to be called 50, 60, 70, 80, which we called over 2 days, so... And then by level 90, they're like, okay, this is becoming a very long name, and so they renamed it High Level Dungeons because, yeah. So and I believe 50 and 60 got combined together because it didn't make sense to have them separated like that. But that's kind of how I remembered it being. And of course, Yorva isn't leveled all the way up to the top, but if we were in the current expansion, there's also a duty roulette that is expert, you know. So it's like you either do expert, which is the current cap of all of the games, to high level dungeons, which is the next tier where we're at right now, which it just changed to healer in need, so we got sent to the top there. And then next tier is, of course, leveling, which is any dungeon that is between level 16 to the highest level dungeon you can do. That is not, what should I say, a high level dungeon. So, if we were to run it right now with Yorva, it would be anywhere from Sastasha up to, I guess it would be the library, the Great Google Library, because Electrochemical would be in the 50-60. So, a community rep even commented on the forum post of a player complaining about Electrochemical being in the level 60 roulette because it has no loot. Okay. It is kind of weird that they didn't put any loot in that dungeon. We decided to include the Electrochemical Research Facility in the level 60 roulette in order to make it easier for new players to complete the dungeon as part of the main scenario for Heavensward. Yeah, I mean, it's like, they gotta include it somehow. If you don't get players, you know, filtered into, like, important story-based dungeons. Like, you can't just leave new players hanging. They have to complete it. You'll get roadblocked if you're not. And, it's always delicate because, like, yeah, I know. It's always an eye roll when you have to go do the oldest content known to man for the 15th time. Let's see. We'd like to consider adding rewards if necessary, so please continue to submit your suggestions. Well, about that. It was meant to be an MSQ dungeon like Praetorium and past ones, but I think they discarded the concept after that. Yeah, they were like, on second thought, that sounds like a terrible idea. Yeah, that's completely right. I mean, it's great now. They have duty support, so, like, if you're really getting stonewalled by nobody wanting to do Aether Chemical, you can now do it with NPCs, so... Yeah, it is in a weird dungeon limbo, and I had to imagine, like, it was in an even weirder limbo until they added, you know, new changes to the system and stuff like that. Yeah, I agree. Like, Praetorium and Meridianum, they don't have any loot because by that point, what was supposed to be your grand prize around that era is the job quests. You're supposed to have your special, you know, job attire like this, the scholar. So that was the thing. And again, like, at the time, it was supposed to be your end game where all of your really fancy loot was really going to come from somewhere else, you know. Yeah, I had wondered why they never put Aether Chemical Research Facility into the main story roulette. I mean, honestly, like, what they really mean by main scenario is Praetorium or Meridian. Like, pick one. Like, it's literally just 2 dungeons. I know Portia Decumano is in there. That's like... Actually, when I did main scenario roulette, because as you can see, I reward already received from today. I did it earlier, leveling up Monk. I actually got Portia Decumano, but I still remember the days where that was part of the Praetorium. But it's great that they sliced it up into more parts, but I guess so, but like, what would be I mean, at least back in that day, what would be the difference? Because if you were below level 60, then it would just be a level 50 roulette. And if you were above level 60, then it would be a 60 plus 50 roulette. I just don't think it would be that big of a deal, but yeah, I'm like, yeah, it is. It technically, Aether Chemical is a main scenario dungeon. It is. But I guess nowadays the argument is moot. The high level dungeons roulette covers it. So if you want to play with players, everybody does high level roulette on a daily basis, unless if you're just, you know, taking a break from it. Like right now with Zviaya, I probably do alliance raids more religiously, but like back in the day when I was doing duty roulettes on a daily basis, yeah, I would hit high level dungeons, you know. And if somebody needed to complete Aether Chemical, then I would do Aether Chemical, you know. But so yeah. Yeah, I agree. They shouldn't have continued doing the main story quest, no loot dungeons after A Realm Reborn. But, like, you know, if they had added it into main scenario roulette, like, you can't see this because I've already claimed my reward, but the rewards for this roulette is some of the highest. You know, it's not about what dungeon you're doing, doesn't matter what it is, other than, you know, time. Looking at you, Praetorium. You know, it was the big payload that you get at the end of doing the dungeon. You know, that's the big reward. So, yeah, I don't know, but luckily nowadays Ether Chemical's not in a weird spot anymore. They don't need to add it to main scenario. It's not necessary. Again, if you're really just not finding anybody queuing into these things, then there's always the duty support that allows you to go through it, and you don't need to wait. You can just go right in. And, I mean, I think we won't know for a long time what development hell was going on. I'm approaching Alexander right now. This era of Final Fantasy history, I just have to look at him, you know? Like, there was this time where I think it was talked about a little bit, like they were not sure if the game was going to survive Heavensward. I'm really glad they kept going out with it, because now they have a super successful game. But yeah, I know the trash pulls in this Savage fight. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to go through Alexander. We're gonna have to showcase. I didn't want to get too close because I know there's this fate going on here. But yeah, so Alexander reached his little pause over here. Yeah, this is a symbol of the dev team struggling. And I don't know, as somebody who lived through both that era and like reflects on it from time to time, it was bad. I remember I wasn't even in the raiding community. I never really was. I was trying to do EX primal fights, and I already shared how Sephiroth was kind of the reason that made me go, you know what? I am not going to go balls to the wall clearing the primal fights when I entered Stormblood. Stormblood was the first expansion where I was like, I am not going to try to beat the EX primals unless I really wanted to. With Sophia, I did want to do that one. But I don't think I really wanted to do Zervan or Sephiroth. I just felt like I had to. That was another thing. I was younger back in those years, and I fell into this toxicity of like, I gotta clear content. And, you know, the extreme fights were content to be cleared, but I was just having a horrible time, and it was not feeling fun for me. Mostly it was the toxicity of players. Like, if I just didn't feel like every day I was just gonna get negativity shoved down my throat, I think I would have been doing a lot better, but yeah. When Stormblood expansion came on the horizon, I took a really deep, hard look at what I wanted out of this game, and I realized I only wanted to really do a lot of these extreme primal fights simply because I wanted to say I cleared it. And at the end of the day, I thought that was not a good enough reason to do extreme. Again, most of everybody goes into extremes wanting to say that they cleared extremes, but I wasn't even particularly interested too hard in the shiny doodads they had every, you know, update with the primals. Like, of course the weapons are awesome, they look cool, but when I realized that most of the content that I was trying to do, which was casual story-based content, I didn't need any of the weapons. I did fine with whatever lower tier weapons they were having out at the time, which was just you know, collect your tombstones and go get your reward, which that just required doing what I'd always done, which is the dungeons I had been doing. So, yeah, that was kind of a maturity moment for me to be like, maybe the toxicity was kind of within me all the time. Mostly because, like, it just came from this viewpoint of, I just have to clear it. I have to clear it because nowadays, I don't do EX fights. I just don't. I might do them later when they're super easy. And maybe I don't need to call in people to help me do it. But, yeah. I do remember A Realm Reborn, when I was first doing the extreme fights, figuring out things like Ramu and Leviathan and, oh god, Titan. I actually don't... Titan was actually the first toxic primal fight, but yeah, so I actually did enjoy clearing extreme fights when I was in A Realm Reborn. If the community was a little bit less on edge, but yeah. I just don't do them anymore, not because I hate them, but mostly because I'm like, I don't know, why? I would rather be doing other things. It's more about finding other things that are more fun to do, rather than, oh, I hate that stuff. It's like, no, I just prefer other things, so. Alright, it is 9 o'clock now. It is time to get ready for bed and read a book for a bit and then go to sleep. Yeah, get Hachi back to Famfrit. I was thinking about server hopping to Famfrit for a bit. I think I was there for other streams. So, my new method of keeping people from bothering me with FC invites, but still having the ability to have tells, because you can set yourself to busy so that FCs won't bombard you with shit. But then you can't get any tells. And if you still want to have tells, just transfer over to a server that's not yours, and nobody can send you FC invites, and they can still send you tells. The only annoying thing is you won't have access to your retainers and, some, like, Grand Company stuff, and a few other things, but it's honestly fine if you're just, you know, doing story stuff. Alright, well, I'm going to end stream here. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk at the end of all of this, and enjoy the rest of your night. And I will see you next week as we do more of the main story, and then we'll do, like, Arby's burrito. So, have a good night.